Patriots steal Central Florida's Javon Baker in the fourth round and add some depth to the offensive line. This is PatsCast. Welcome to PatsCast. I'm Brad Whitaker, super excited. I think this is actually turning out to be a pretty good draft. Give Elliott Wolf credit. All offense so far here in the early portion of the fourth round. The Patriots add Central Florida's Javon Baker, and I tweeted this a moment ago. I would have been happy with the Patriots reaching for a guy like Baker in the second round. An absolute steal getting Baker, a true boundary X, which they don't really have, even with Jalen Polk, added to the roster, and they get him in the fourth. And they also add a very good guard, a guy who probably can contribute right away. So let's start with the guard position before I get all excited about Javon Baker, because this is such a great pick. And Patriots really focusing on building an offense where they needed all the help in the world. And they got a lot of good young receivers, kind of like what Green Bay has done over the years. We know that's the Elliott Wolf, Ron Wolf strategy. And they're doing it. They started the fourth round selecting Layden Robinson, offensive guard out of Texas A&M. 6'4", over 300 pounds, very solid athlete, powerful base, heavy hands, really great in pass protection. I think he's also excellent when it comes to run blocking. A guy, and I said this yesterday about Caden Wallace, a guy that's really going to fit well into that new school, old school, whatever it is going to be, Alex Van Pelt, West Coast offense. Patriots are going to be a run-first team. They're going to run a lot of wide zone. They added another offensive lineman who's going to be able to help with the running game and also protect the pass as well. Also very versatile in the run scheme, effective in both zone run, gap run schemes. Great core, lower body strength. I think this also says a lot about how the Patriots feel about Bill Belichick's recent selections at the guard position. We know there's a lot of Cole Strange question marks. He was a reach in the first round a couple of seasons ago. We don't even know if he's going to be healthy, but I think this actually says a little bit more. I think Cole Strange is still a good NFL starter at left guard, but I'm not sure they're as confident in him as Bill Belichick certainly was. But this also says they're not very confident in Sidy Sow at the right guard spot. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Layden Robinson starting there on the right side, and the Patriots really kind of changing the offensive line a little bit. And it also says Caden Wallace, the right tackle the Patriots drafted yesterday out of Penn State, they're really going to make their best effort to convert him into a left tackle. If he's ready, he'll start there right away. If he's not, we got Okora for there. And then maybe you kick Caden Wallace to one of the guard spots. If Cole Strange isn't ready, you have him at left guard or right guard. And then you can put Layden Robinson out there wherever. Or Robinson also could just be a depth piece if you're confident with Cole Strange and Sidy Sow. A lot the Patriots can do with that offensive line. They still have Mafi. We all know David Andrews at center, Mike Onwenu at the right tackle spot. But a lot of options for the Patriots. And we know offensive linemen go down quite a bit in the NFL. Certainly happened a lot with the Patriots last season. They're going to have a lot of players they're confident in if some of those players go down early in the season, and just to keep it rolling. And that's really what this Layden Robinson pick does. Yeah, he may not be the most elite athlete, but he's athletic enough. Has some difficulty displacing opponents, elevating pad level, some balance issues in pass protections, but nothing that you can't really clean up there. But again, Patriots double dipping on the offensive line, double dipping at the receiver position, adding Drake May, third overall. They're giving him weapons, they're giving him protection, and now we might have an offense. Yeah, it's going to take some time to develop all of these guys, but some will be ready right away, some won't. But you would expect 2-3 seasons down the road, you got a bunch of starters out there that we're taking in the first 4 rounds of this draft. Now let's get to the exciting part. Javon Baker, as I said, if the Patriots had taken this guy in the second or third round out of Central Florida, I would have been excited. Well, they got him in the fourth, and that's an absolute steal. I was a little disappointed to see Oregon's Troy Franklin come off the board, but I wanted Baker more, and I didn't think he would be available when the Patriots picked a guard early in the fourth round. Didn't expect Baker to be available 7 picks later, but he was. And look, this is a good player. He is 6'1", 207 pounds. Maybe not the fastest in terms of the 40. Ran a 4.54 40 times, so just a little bit slower than Jalen Polk. They didn't add a lot of burners, at least so far in the draft, but they added guys who can go up and catch it, added guys who can get a lot of yards after the catch. Jalen Polk, decent with the yards after the catch, but Javon Baker, very good when it comes to the yards after the catch, and certainly that's been the Patriots' bread and butter in the past, and he's going to help with that. NFL-ready size and strength. He possesses NFL speed variations, effectively being able to outmaneuver defenses, gain advantages in matchups. Very good route runner. Can catch in traffic just like Jalen Polk can. Excellent at making those type of 50-50 ball plays. Again, he's about the same size as Jalen Polk, but he looks a lot bigger out there. And I think what's most important is, Jalen Polk can play on the inside. He can play on the outside. Did both pretty evenly at the University of Washington. But Javon Baker was one of the few true X boundary receivers that was still left on the board. And we know the Patriots are missing that element to their offense. Kendrick Bourne may be on the outside in the early part of the season, but I could see a future where you have Javon Baker on the outside, Kendrick Bourne opposite, and then you can do whatever you want in the middle with Demario Douglas, with KJ Osborne, and with Jalen Polk. And Polk's a guy you can move around to all sorts of places, maybe play him in a Deebo Samuel type role. But very good player the Patriots got. Was an Alabama guy, transferred to the University of Central Florida where he could become a true number one X wide receiver, and he did just that. I guess I heard on ESPN that in terms of yards receiving, he was second in the NFL, only to Rome Odunze out of Washington. That's something you like to see. Quick lateral mobility, great ball tracking and adjustments, hand fighting, utility after the catch, like I said. Amazing guy who's going to give you an extra 10, 15 yards if he gets into the open field or can break tackles, do all of those things. Now, there's a reason he slipped to the fourth round, right? I think the biggest one is he had some issues catching the football, had a bunch of drops in the early half of the season at Central Florida this past season, but he did clean it up. Didn't have any drops in the second half of the season, so you like to see that. Seems to be improving in that part of his game. Not a guy who's going to accelerate a lot. Struggles, I guess, a little bit in press coverage. Similarly to a lot of these receivers in college. Has some focus issues sometimes. Looks like the type of guy who will take a few plays off. Doesn't always put 100% effort out there. Hopefully that changes a little bit in the NFL. Maybe not as good of a blocker as Jalen Polk. I think Jalen Polk is a receiver that you can have in the blocking game and feel pretty good about that. I don't think Javon Baker is that type of wide receiver, but if you're lining him up on the outside, it's not quite as important there. And like I said, lack of immediate burst, not the fastest receiver on the board, but he's a guy who's going to get 50-50 balls, yards after the catch. Really excited to see him in New England. And look, is there a true number one? Do they have a Brandon Ayuk? Do they have a T. Higgins? Do they have an A.J. Brown out there? No, the Patriots don't. But they got a lot of solid receivers that they can pick and choose from. And some of those guys are going to work out, some of them are not. Tyquan Thornton put on a lot of weight this offseason, looks a lot stronger out there. Maybe he finally takes that leap, but if he doesn't, and I don't think he's going to because of what we've seen from Tyquan, that's fine. You got so much depth there at the receiver position. I'll be shocked if Juju's even on the roster. Hopefully he's better than last year where he really didn't contribute a ton. Obviously had some injury issues, was not a great replacement for Jacoby Myers. But I think Jalen Polk is the next Jacoby Myers type guy that they have out there, whether he's in the slot or you line him up on the outside. But now you got a true X in Javon Baker, a guy who I said, again, Patriots, if they got him in the second or third round, I would have been happy with that. You get him in the fourth, you got a true boundary X now. You're going to have to clean up some things. He's got to be, a little more focused out there, got to deal with the drops and become a little bit more consistent. There's a lot of consistency issues there, but he is an NFL-sized wide receiver and a guy that all teams really need on the outside. Javon Baker can be that guy, and he has the potential to develop into a true number one wide receiver, and if that happens, well, this was an absolute steal. But even if he's not ready, even if Jalen Polk's not ready, Still got Kendrick Bourne, still got KJ Osborne. Demario Douglas going to be a great slot receiver, was really good last year. Probably the second best rookie wide receiver in the draft, taken in the 6th round. You got Austin Hooper, you got Hunter Henry at the tight end spots, and now you get a ton of depth on the offensive line. And if Caden Wallace is ready to play left tackle on week 1, watch out. Like, Jacoby Brissett's going to have a lot to work with, or Drake May, if he's ready, is going to have a lot to work with. They're going to have protection. They're going to have lots of weapons there. Even if they don't have that real true number 1 wide receiver, they got a lot of B plus guys who are going to be able to contribute right away. So this is really exciting. Patriots going all offense. We know they still need to address the corner position. I would expect them to address safety. We'll see if they trade back into the 5th round. They don't draft until the 6th round. Have a couple of picks there. They got one when they traded away Mac Jones, and then they have a 7th rounder. So wouldn't be shocked if it's all defense the rest of the way, which would make some sense. But good to see, unlike the Bill Belichick days, Elliott Wolf really prioritizing the offense, prioritizing all the needs at quarterback, at receiver, on the offensive line. They're there. Patriots, they're building a team here. Doesn't mean it's not going to take some time. Doesn't mean we can't be patient, but it's exciting. And we'll see what happens the rest of the draft. We'll have a whole draft podcast coming up where we make sense of all the picks going into the 6th round, the 7th round. We'll wrap it up and really talk about how this offense is rounding out, assuming they address the defense, what those pieces are going to look like. But, I was kind of like, okay, this is an okay draft last night. I like the Caden Wallace pick if they think he can be a left tackle. I like the Jalen Polk pick, even if he was a bit of a reach in the 2nd round. But now that you double dipped on the offensive line and you added a Javon Baker, a real player that they were missing on that offense, I think Elliott Wolf's doing a damn good job, and I would give him the formal general manager title at this point. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are you happy with the Javon Baker selection? Are you happy with the Patriots taking another guard? Are you not as confident, like it seems Elliott Wolf is, in Cole Strange, in City So, in Mafi at the guard positions? Do you think this guy can start right away? And are you happy so far through 4 rounds with what the Patriots have done overall? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll be back here at PatsCast with more draft coverage. This is getting exciting. I think we have an offense. Again, going to take some time, but plenty of options now at receivers. Some of those guys may bust, but some of those guys are probably going to hit too. We'll be here at PatsCast to cover it.
We're talking PatsCast. Got a story to tell about a player named Javon, gonna ring the victory bell. A true boundary X receiver.